All right, well, here's my third attempt at trying to do this review for Rise of Skywalker. And every time I've tried to do this review, I stop, and while I'm in editing, I'd be like, I missed this, I missed that. So I'm going to try and keep this concise, but at the same time, make this not give away too much. So I'm trying to keep this semi spoiler free. I mean, there's going to be some spoilers in this review, so please still be warned. And if you haven't seen it, please stop, go watch the movie, come back, and tell me your thoughts. Oh boy, where do I start with this movie? After The Last Jedi, they pretty much finished some story arcs for the main bad guy, which was Snoke. Kylo Ren's arc was still kind of open. Rey basically is a Mary Sue, so she has no arc. So there's what's there to end for her besides finding out who she is, where it's revealed in this movie. And then Finn basically has no arc because he was supposedly this awesome First Order trooper that decides that he doesn't want to be part of that group or order and does not want to kill people. And he kind of has a change of heart and he ends up joining the resistance, and then nothing happens. And nothing is covered about him in Last Jedi. Then you have Poe Dameron, who was, he's basically a scoundrel, and then kind of like Han Solo, but then he decides to join the Resistance, and he's part of the Resistance against the First Order, yada yada, and pretty much he has kind of no end of his arc in this show either. The rest of the characters nobody cares about. Rose, nobody cares. It's painfully obvious that most of the characters and the story arcs that people didn't care for in The Last Jedi, Disney basically listened to everybody on the internet and pretty much just canned stuff they didn't think was going to sell. It was not popular. So this movie was complete fan service. The entire movie was complete fan service. So this movie basically has the Emperor back in the universe trying to take control, and Kylo Ren is out there trying to find a way to kill the Emperor so that he can be the ultimate Sith Lord. But we know he's kind of emo, so he doesn't really want to. We know that he doesn't really want to be that evil because he's kind of torn in between. We are not sure if he wants to be a good guy, a bad guy, because he's so torn. Then you have Rey, who's been training for about a year, and she is now being trained by Leia Organa, who's supposedly a Jedi. And yep, they wrote that Leia was a trained Jedi now, so whatever. So the Resistance finds out that they need to find a Sith Wayfinder, which will help them go and find the Emperor and then kill him and stop his imminent attack on the universe or his grab for power. This movie has a lot of problems because there's a lot of convenient plot pieces and a lot of items that help the plot along that make no sense. What they try to do is they try to throw you this action everywhere, just to not make you question what's going on. If they throw enough stuff at you, they end up confusing you. So, for example, my wife is really awesome at this. What she'll do is she always tells me, don't give people a little bit of detail, just give them a lot of details, but with stuff that doesn't matter, then it eventually overloads them and they'll just forget what the question was. They try to bring back everybody because they're calling this the Skywalker saga. This is not even close to being a Skywalker saga because until the end of the movie or middle of the movie, we don't even know what Rey is. If she's a Kenobi, if she's a Palpatine, if she's a Skywalker, or just a nobody. This movie has a lot of new Force powers that we've never seen before in any Star Wars movie. Now, I'm judging my thoughts on all these Force powers on what I have seen in TV shows and the movies. I'm not going by any novels, graphic novels, nothing like that. I'm just going on by what was produced so that just the average person has seen. they do these things where they can transport objects with their weird Skype telepathy talking thing. All of a sudden, people can heal, which makes no sense. There's a force power to heal. They can bring back people from the dead, which is absolutely bonkers. And then the Force Ghost now can manipulate the physical realm. The problem that J.J. Abrams has brought to all of this is that not even the most powerful Jedi could bring back people from the dead and heal them. Because Obi-Wan Kenobi was still fairly young when Qui-Gon got killed by Darth Maul. But then Luke Skywalker was a pretty powerful Jedi. Why couldn't he have healed his father, Vader, when he was, dying on the floor right after killing the Emperor? So it creates even more problems, and it kind of like makes the original trilogy a bit of a mess. Or, it's like, oh, why didn't he do this, or why didn't he do that? It just makes no sense. The thing is with the Force was always this mystical magic, this belief in the background that was always behind Star Wars. The thing is that we bought into the characters, and they were the key part of the entire original trilogy. Sure, Luke had the Force, Yoda knew the Force, Vader had the Force, but it wasn't the main part of the shows. And unfortunately, in this one, because it's so badly written and so badly acted, it's just as if, here, let's throw Force stuff with explosions, with starships getting destroyed, with another explosions here. Hey, remember this guy, remember this scene, remember this place, let's go here, let's go there, we gotta go get this, we gotta go get that. And that's basically what they've done. So now I'm just gonna cover the unexplained plot points which didn't make any sense. We never find out how Maz Kanata got a hold of Luke's lightsaber. Also, an interesting thing is at the end of the movie, Maz Kanata gives Chewie his medal that he won in A New Hope. So how did she get a hold of that? Like, did she steal his stuff? Throughout Rise of Skywalker, Finn has something to say to Rey, but he never does. So we're not sure if it's a romantic thing, if it's a secret he knows about her past, nothing. They just basically, the movie ends and we never hear about it. With the new Force powers that were brought into this show, when Rey died, and if she's made out to be this best Jedi ever, how come she didn't disappear like everybody else? Like Yoda disappeared as well. I know some Jedi disappear, some don't, so it's kind of weird how it's kind of inconsistent in Star Wars by itself. Kylo Ren is not as a developed Jedi, he's more Sith. Then how is he able to bring Rey back to life if it seems like bringing people back to life was a Jedi thing? Because we know that Revenge of the Sith, Palpatine says stuff like, you can let people live forever, they never die, cheat death, all that stuff, but we've never seen it really done by the Sith before. So in this story, you need a Wayfinder to get to Exegol, which is the Sith homeworld. What makes no sense is that who was using a Wayfinder to come and build all these ships for Palpatine? Like, was there already a whole bunch of people on this planet living there building these ships for him? Why are they under ice or underwater or whatever? Where did all the troopers come from? Were they all there? But then why did these Red Sith troopers not look like the original stormtroopers? But why did they look like Red First Order troopers? Wouldn't their uniforms be different? Like, wouldn't the Sith stormtroopers look like the old stormtroopers instead of the First Order troopers with red coloring? So the other problem is there's a plot piece, which is the Sith dagger, which helps them find the Wayfinder. But when was the dagger made? It makes no sense, because the dagger's got this little thing that comes out and you look through like a keyhole and it tells you where the Wayfinder is. But that means the Death Star had to be destroyed, but the Sith dagger is like really ancient, because the guy, Ocho or Ochi or whatever his name is, he never escaped to go get the Wayfinder. So if he never escaped, who put the little map thing where the key finder goes in and you can see, It shows the Death Star shape and where it's located with the little point at the end there. Who built that? Did somebody know the Wayfinder was there? Like, was there time travel involved? It doesn't make any sense. The other big plot hole is the ridiculous part where Rey is a Palpatine. So if Rey is like 20 something years old and Palpatine looks like the way he does, when did he have a child that has a granddaughter? So I'm kind of confused about, was this way before he turned ugly? Like, there was never mention of any daughters or nothing of his in the show, unless I'm wrong. Him being a Dark Lord, hiding. Why would he ever have a child that could maybe usurp his power and become the rightful Dark Lord in the universe? I don't know, guys. It pisses me off that this is actually part of the Star Wars saga and they had to use some of the original characters. Disney should not make any more Star Wars movies. I think I'm done with them. Just stick with The Mandalorian, stick with your one-shots, use the IP for that type of stuff. Stop making movies. Kathleen Kennedy, you suck. You suck at making movies. Stay the hell away from Star Wars. You suck. They had no roadmap for this entire trilogy. They basically had J.J. Abrams come up with this crazy idea, but he had no real story. He's like, okay, let's fan service the first one. Let's bring stuff. Okay, sure, it was fun. And then they had Rian Johnson take over for The Last Jedi, which just basically ended story arcs and created new story arcs that didn't even matter. And then it just ended. And you're like, okay, well, what the hell was that? Empire Strikes Back remake, kind of. And then you get this movie, which is trying to fix all the stuff that they didn't agree with in The Last Jedi. But they throw you so many new characters, like Poe's Flame. Like, they throw so many new characters like Zori Bliss. Who else do they have here? They have like the Knights of Ren they show for a little bit, but they were mentioned in the first one. But the Knights of Ren are useless. They have no force. Like, I thought they were Jedi, but they have only like metal weapons. It makes no sense. And then they bring Janna, who is this character that we're supposed to care about. Like, I mean, we already don't care about the characters we have now. Why the hell do we care about new characters? It makes no sense. And so this Janna character is another turned, First Order trooper that decides not to fight, and she was taken as a kid and brainwashed. But we all thought that Finn was the only one that ever turned. So anyway, I'm glad this crap trilogy is over. Hope they just stick to doing shows because they're knocking it out of the park with Mandalorian. I mean, sure, it's not perfect, but like I'll say, it's a spaghetti western with the gunslinger going from town to town. It's good. I like it. It's simple. It's good. It's not too flashy. It's more character-based. And that's what wins in movies and in Star Wars. Star Wars, the original trilogy, was character-based. This show is fan-servicing with plot devices and MacGuffins and bringing back old memories and old places, so everybody's like, oh, look, sentimentality, yay, this movie's awesome now because it's sentimental. Like, who gives a crap? Like, honestly, enough. Stop making movies, Disney. Stop making Star Wars movies. You suck at it. Suck at it. The best part about this trilogy was the turn of Kylo Ren. He basically does a Darth Vader turn. It's good to see at least somebody had a good arc. And somebody did an arc that worked out. There was progression from the first, second to the third movie. And the character redeems himself. Still doesn't matter that he's a murderous psychopath that killed thousands of people. I mean, that's still there. But at least there was an arc. He's basically like Vader. They ruined Luke Skywalker's entire saga. Leia's whatever. It is what it is. Chewie has really nothing to do. Poe's just around. Finn's useless. Rose, thankfully, is useless because she was not a compelling character. It was badly written and just thrown in for the Chinese market. And Rey's boring and a Mary Sue. She's good at everything. There's no character arc there. She has no flaws. So what's the point? Kathleen Kennedy wanted an all-powerful woman because women are the best, right? And so you made a crappy character that nobody cares about. All Daisy Ridley can do is talk through her teeth, pant, grit her teeth, make noises, look really clumsy with a lightsaber, and yeah, it's just amazing at everything as a character. Mary Sue, good job. All right, guys, that's it for me. Boy, I'm glad this trilogy's over. I was so apathetic about this show. I didn't care what happened to the characters. I don't care what anything happens. So overall, I would give this movie a rating of 2 Akbars out of 5, just because of nostalgia. I mean, I was laughing through this movie with some of these plots and the things that were happening. I'm like, what is going on? This makes no sense, and it's just ridiculous. They were just trying to tie in some of the plot points. It's like, oh. Anyway, I'm out. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Comments below. Peace.